is. Let's see. Oh, I can. Look at God. Yes. You better work shit out for me. Oh, I'm sorry, Jesus. God dang it. Okay, cool.
All right, well, good energy. Well, let me just introduce the podcast. Welcome, everybody, to the Candid Talk Show podcast, where we keep it as candid as possible, aim to help those that we can't help while having a fun time at the same time. Today, we have a special guest, author. You do a lot, actually. You're going to have to introduce yourself.
I can
Have
introduce
Miss
myself.
Joy Kersey.
Okay, yes, I am Joy. I am a 21-year Army vet. I'm also
Hmm.
author of this wonderful book here, Lust, Lies, and No Goddamn White Picket Fence, y'all. And I also have a plethora of merch, as you see.
What type of merch do you have? Like, what type of merch do you sell? Besides the
So,
book that I
if
happen to
any,
have in front of me as well.
yeah, if anyone knows me, like seeing me from Essence Fest or some of the other events, I started out doing eyelashes. And when I say
Mm.
like eyelashes, I mean the ones that you put on, like the yep. But I do eyelashes, not individuals. Then I started out selling these actual eyelash cases was my first thing. And now
Mm.
I sell shorts, waist trainers, you name it, I probably sell it. To include
Mm.
my cute little phone cases here.
You do. Got it all. What don't you have? That's the question. It seems like you have it all over there. Anything you need, go to Joy. Joy probably
Yes.
has. You
Except for
know.
any illegal drugs or anything like that. I don't
Oh
have
yeah, yeah. We're not talking about nothing illegal.
that.
So lashes, and you said 20 years military? Was that did I hear that right?
21. Yes, sir.
21. 21.
Mhm.
My bad. 21. Savage. Okay, so coming from the military, getting into entrepreneurship, we're pretty much brought that hustle out of you, like, cause that's a lot of entrepreneurship, and I know when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's a lot of hustle. So, like, where does that hustle come from?
In general, the hustle comes from my dad. He was always someone that if it was something that he could do, my dad could make furniture. He literally would sell anything. We were always at somebody's flea market. So the hustle came from my dad and my mom. The work ethic is crazy. But for me, when I was getting ready to retire, I have two daughters. One of my daughters was leaving for college, but before she left for college, she stayed with me that summer and she was wearing eyelashes. I never wore makeup before then. As crazy as that may sound, I only had a little mascara eyeliner. That was it for me. But my daughter would leave her eyelashes laying all around the house. And if
Mm.
anybody know anything about eyelashes, when you see them, you think it's a roach or a spider or something. And like that's like true story. And so I would see them and I'm getting like a shoe or a fly swatter, go through all of this and realize it's a freaking eyelash. So I was upset.
Wow.
But so I was in Texas at the time. I went to
Yeah.
every beauty supply store they had. I went to Target. I went to Walmart. I went everywhere. The one thing I could not find was an eyelash case. Like
Mm.
literally could not find an eyelash case because people buy the lashes. So I didn't want to do anything except have something that you could put your lashes in. That's it. This
Mm.
one like holds five. I have one that holds two, one for one, because sometimes you just want to put it on your in your purse and be on the go with it. Especially if you're staying at your man house and you take them lashes off, you don't want them to mess up. So you put them in your little case. That's it, that's all. But yeah.
I feel that. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, the way you break it down, I mean, I wouldn't officially know, but I mean, I think obviously every woman I've seen like is wearing lashes, so that seems like a commodity. Like, I need that. That's imperative. But yeah, that's different right there. I haven't actually heard anybody actually selling lash cases, if anything. So
Right.
that's unique if it's in itself.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room because I gotta ask about it. We're gonna go to it. So the inspiration for the book. that
Yes.
you have written lust, lies, not a goddamn. Oh no, excuse me, no goddamn white picket fence.
Yes.
What's
Yes.
the what can you tell us about it without actually giving all the spoilers away? Because I know, of
I
course, you
know,
got your,
right?
people gonna read it. So, what was the inspo? I guess behind the book.
Honestly, it was something that I really started when I was probably 19 or 20. And I say that because I started writing poetry.
Mm,
And I'm sure a lot of women probably went through it, but I'm not sure how people dealt with their breakups. But for me, it was writing a poem. Almost every real relationship I was in has a
mm,
poem. So I initially started, and if you read the book, you'll notice in the first chapter, there's a poem at the well, closer to the end. And so
mm,
my intent was to put poems with it, but then that kind of changed as I was trying to kind of rewrite everything. But
mm.
my book is really about a simple girl looking for love, thinking she found love, and over again been disappointed. But I have yet, in my 40s, I have yet to give up on the idea that I will find my man, my husband, my best friend. But throughout
Mm.
that time, I go through a lot in this book.
Got you. So you said in your time. So this book is just all technically you.
So I initially did not want to come out and say that or be honest about it, but it is 99% true. The names,
Mm,
of course, have changed because if you know me, I don't claim no exes. I don't know you. So
mm.
the
Well,
names
yeah,
are
you gotta
different.
bring them up. Definitely not. They ain't
Right.
gonna give me no momentum,
You know, you
no
deserve
motion.
nothing. So, but yeah, so it actually is 99% true. Um,
Mm.
I've had a lot of
I
people
thought
have
it was.
look, I've had a lot
I
of people
thought it,
have
I didn't
told
even. I thought it was yeah, yeah. What? I.
me,
I'm
but
sorry.
let me say this, and it's something that may sound crazy or
Hmm.
weird to someone, anyone who's taken the time to write a book or whatever, tell your life story. I initially wanted to write this book because I really felt like it could help a lot of females. This book talks about not just relationships, but breaking up with people that you really love. It talks about
Hmm.
abortions. It talks about all the stuff that most
Hmm.
people don't want to talk about or admit. But these are things that have really happened to people. And I know because the people who read it, they always give me the same feedback. I went through abuse because it also talks about abuse. And
Hmm.
so these are like real issues. And when I first started writing the book, that was really my thing was to connect with women in a way that most people won't be real about. But once people
I
started
love that.
reading the book, and I did not know this, and I know
Hmm.
that may sound crazy if anyone has read the book and you know what's in there. I 100% did not make this book to be about my sex life. That was
Hmm.
not my intent. My intent was not for it to be a sexy book. My intent was for it
Hmm.
to be a book that can inspire women to be true to themselves. But
I don't think you can stop the sexy. But anyway.
what's crazy is, and this is like true story, I
Hmm.
had no idea that my sex scenes were
Hmm.
so raw. I had no idea. I really was
Descriptive.
just yeah, I was writing what was really happening in my relationship. It
Mm.
wasn't until someone else read
Interesting.
it. Right.
Hmm.
Someone else read it and they was like, "Ooh, like this is real sexy. Like, oh my God, you really were doing some stuff. Oh my God, you a savage." But I know I did not think it. And now that I'm trying to grow in my
Hmm.
closeness with God, I
Hmm.
actually, as crazy as it sounds, like most things I always pray and ask God to assist me in, be there with me. I feel guilty asking him to be a part of this journey because it is
Hmm.
very sexually explicit. And I'm actually even considering rewriting the second volume to take out some of
I
the
mean,
changes.
isn't God? But isn't He all knowing anyway, though? But are you just saying like the part about sharing it?
It's a part of sharing it because I can't take back my past. It happened. Like
Yeah, but
I had some great
one thing
friends.
is, because I always say God give us gifts and we got to use them, and if we don't, we technically abuse them, and then we lose them. You know, so if He gave you the gift to be able to put those words in a way where it was visually appealing to people, because technically a lot of people have tried to write sex novels, and it's just a you know
Mm,
what I mean? So it's like when you have a way of being descriptive in a way where it's actually still telling a story, it's just a part of that story. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't knock it too much, but I can't knock how you feel about it either. So to
yeah.
each, you know what I'm saying? But I can't lie. When I was reading, I was like, yeah, this is reminding me of the classic what was it? The not Zane. It was somebody else that was writing the novels. But they was more telling a story versus just being about the you know what I'm saying? Like we go
Yeah.
the moment, you know what I mean? So it was more about the visualization and being able to actually visualize the moment while you're reading it. So I think that was actually interesting about reading your book. I was like, oh, it's pretty dope, because personally, I could lose attention very fast
Yeah.
when I'm reading anything because that's just I guess ADHD. But overall, like I said, yes, very very gifted when it comes to the writing the words. And do you think that's mainly from just like your poem writing, or how was the transition into actually writing a book?
Um,
'Cause
it
that's different, technically different genres of writing. Because I've tried to talk to different writers, and they be like, "You need this type of writer if you're going to do this type of writing." You know what I mean? So how was that transition from poem to being able to actually, transition to writing a whole book? Because you did that.
well, thank
Damn.
you. Thank you.
Mm, mm.
I really think, well, first of all, English is my major in college. So
You
I
cheated.
definitely did that. And then, of course, when I was in the Army, I was
Mhm.
a behavioral health specialist. So I literally did therapy and counseling
Okay.
for over 16 years. So that can
Mm.
help too. You have to write notes when it comes to, the people that you counsel.
Right.
So I think that helped me to keep things in order. But honestly, I just think in general, which my friends like and don't like about me, I'm a
Okay.
storyteller. So if I tell you
Mm.
about something, trust me, you're gonna know every detail, probably more than what you want to know. But I think I write the way that I talk, which actually
Mm.
took a lot of editing because I definitely write the way that I talk. And I'm very honest. I feel like if you're honest about who you are, no one can
Mm.
ever say anything that will hurt you because you've already said your story. This is me.
That's a
Start
fact.
small.
That's a fact. I think that's the problem with the world right now. Is a lot of people aren't really living a real truth. They're making up something
Is that
based off of what society tells them they should. Um,
yeah.
anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. That's a whole different topic. I'm gonna bring you on one of those panels as well. We're gonna have that conversation. But
I'm my
we
baby.
also, huh?
I said
How's
I'm gonna
that?
be real.
All right, I love real. That's why we have Candid. It's called Candid Talk Show for a reason. Like we like to keep it candid here. And we
Mhm.
also did a project together as well. I shot the trailer for maybe movie series. It could be something. But you actually got your acting
Oh my
experience on. How was that? Tell us
God.
about it.
Okay, y'all. He trying to play me because listen, no, 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 no. Real talk. I low key was probably the worst. Like,
It was
we brought
amazing.
in a gentleman who had acted before. I'm very
Yeah.
thankful to him. But one, I was nervous as hell. Um, we didn't actually have lines, but because I wrote the book, I knew what I was trying to do. But it's not
It's more
something
like
I
a silent film.
would, huh?
More like a silent film almost.
Right. It's
Hmm.
it's not something that I would want to do. Yeah, I don't think I'm that good at it, to be honest with you.
You don't? I
No.
mean, I've been hearing a lot of good things, at least from the people that have seen it. So, actually, let's actually see it real quick. Let's show the people.
Okay.
We can talk if you want to pause for a quick moment, so we can talk over it, and you can actually break down what's happening in the trailer.
Okay.
That way we can even get a little bit more understand. Hold on, let me actually pull it up. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, transitions. Bam. All right. Big Head Productions presents. Y'all ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's see what happens. Shout out Mike Ham.
Period.
When
Well, I won't have no volume.
you said no volume, you can't hear it. Hold on.
Mm-mm.
Hold on. We need volume. If you can't hear it,
And people, let me just tell you the reason why I say that, because he did the damn thing when it came to the volume, actual the music, the background, bringing the story to life. I mean, it hit every point where it's supposed to hit it. So I want y'all to hear it if he's gonna show it.
I'm gonna play it one more time. Hopefully, it's a little bit louder. But it's loud on my side.
Is it?
Let's say it is. Hopefully. I don't know if it's not playing as loud because we're recording at the same time. That could happen sometimes as
Mm.
well. But let me see if I can turn it up.
'Cause I was like,
And man,
if not, I can just
let me see if this works. Hold up.
use my phone and play it at the
Let's see.
same time.
How that sound? Sound the same?
Yep. But hold on, because what we can do, because Assist does have it on her phone. I can play it at the
I'm
same time, and bam,
about to say you got the what's the link? Well, matter of fact, let me pull the link up. Maybe I go play it from the link. Maybe it's not playing the audio. I'm gonna switch back to. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right.
and let me just say while he's booting it up for us, um, the reason I wanted to do a trailer for my book. I'm speaking into
Speaking
existence.
into
I'm
existence.
manifesting this because let me tell you something. I want this to be a series or a movie. That's it. That's it. That's all. But the
I can
reason
see
why,
it.
thank you. The reason I wanted to do it was because one, I know we're in 2024. The attention span is short. A lot of people don't read like we used to back in the day. We read
No,
for recreation. Like in the
what's that
summertime,
nowadays?
huh?
That doesn't even exist.
I know we didn't have all those channels y'all have. We had none of that. We had maybe three, and I lived in the country, so it was either work in the fields, which I still did, but we would also read. But I grew up reading romance novels, and maybe that
Mm-mm.
helped some. But I never read any by any black people. Everyone that I
Mm.
read was always not even trying to be funny, soft white porn. You know what I'm saying? Like it was on the very barely talking about sex. And
Gotcha.
I read a book. I don't know if this man exists, but oh my God, I do not remember your name. But if you exist and you have a book, because I was in Augusta, Georgia when I was given this book, and I was told this writer was in Augusta, Georgia too. But it's called, and I knew I would do that as soon as I started. It is called Josie's Missing Syllabus. The book changed my life.
That sounds different.
Let me tell you, a black writer, this man, he wrote so raw and real and so
Mhm.
relatable. I let someone borrow it, which was my mistake. They never gave it
You
back.
never getting that back. You never do that.
I mean, listen, and I have looked for this book. I've looked online. I go to bookstores. I look for this book. Joseph's
Mm-hmm.
Missing Syllabus. If anybody know this person who wrote this book, if anybody had this book, holla at your girl, please, because I really want it back. But yeah, I wrote it. I wanted to do the visual so people could see what they were getting into and decide then if they wanted to continue to read it.
Hmm. Heard.
Mhm.
Nah.
And no
Yeah,
one
you
I
you
know
definitely
has
gotta find.
ever
You
done.
probably could find it now, especially mentioning it. You definitely could find it on Amazon or something like that. You never know.
I've looked on Amazon. I'm
You
telling you,
look
I've
already.
been looking. Say that again.
Mm. They could have renamed the title. That sometimes happens. Maybe Google if they renamed.
Oh, wrong one.
What you buzzing out over there? Let me know if you can hear this real quick. Let me see if this works.
If not, I got mine ready. Oh yes, I hear it.
Once again, shout out Mike Camp. When you. Oh, look at you.
I picked that girl.
Snap. Interesting. Interesting.
Yes. Applause from the
Let's
crowd.
go.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Let's go. Good job.
Yes. That
Wow.
was nerve-wracking.
Really?
It really was. I was so nervous and not just about being half naked because I'm a person who has never worn a bathing suit in public.
Really?
I really am. I'm that person. I'm like, that's your bra and panties. Who finna put that on? Mm-mm. I wouldn't even let my girls wear it. Like, no, put on some shorts.
Wow.
So,
Well, you was pretty confident. I wasn't. I would have never known that. You seemed pretty confident. I would have expected you in bikini, something like that. I was like, yeah, you probably have some familiarities.
yeah,
But no, you know, that's interesting.
right.
Oh, well, you
Never.
killed it.
When I say never, but I will say that between you and then Mike and then the makeup artist,
Hmm.
I was waiting for you to say his name.
I know.
Let me say,
Shout out Elijah.
Elijah, he was the bomb.com. Like, that was like having a best friend on set who made you feel better about all the shit you was getting ready to do.
And just to let you know, I cheated. Let me show you the credits. I cheated. I cheated.
What? Whoa. Okay, that's what's up.
Hey, I had to figure it out real quick. I'm like, hold up.
No, we
It
love
slipped my mind real quick.
you.
I was like,
I
Eli, hold
know.
up. But yeah, nah, everybody was great. I think it was a great set. That's what I was saying. Like, surprisingly, I thought it went very well. It didn't feel like your first time acting, if anything, because at least you if you was nervous, you didn't show it as much. You know, I wouldn't know what your nervous tics was. I can say that much. Because some people show it, you be like, oh, you're nervous? You wanna? Yeah, you want to go for a walk? I didn't need to. I didn't feel like I needed to do any of that. So,
Well, that's
but yeah.
good. Then I've learned to fake it.
What's some of the reactions that you've been getting since the trailer has dropped for your possible movie series?
Right? So I probably did something I shouldn't have done because I wanted to get it out. So I went
Mm,
through my my call log and I sent it to literally everyone that I've ever met except So I want to be clear. When it comes to the military people, I still have a lot of numbers, and I
Mhm.
did not send it to all of them because it might have been too much. But so yeah,
Gotcha.
I literally had so many DMs, so many, hey, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, you do know who I am. Like we already tried this before, it didn't work. Like we good.
Mhm.
But everybody was just like, "Oh my god!" Like you, people really thought I was in a movie, and I'm like,
Mm,
"No, it's just a trailer for my book. It's not a movie." But that was the biggest reaction. Like, "Oh my god, I love it! Like you did so good. You look good." But yeah, yeah, most people thought it was hot, especially the
mm.
men folk. And I appreciate you guys because I don't feel that way about myself. So the fact that you thought it was sexy, it worked.
Yeah, it was pretty sexy. It was pretty sexy. I'm
Well,
still mad at you. You thought I
huh?
was gay. I'm like, how'd you think I was gay? Just because I'm being professional. Ah, dang.
Oh, okay, sis. Oh, we finna do real talk. Let's do real talk.
Yeah,
Let's
this
do
is
real
candid
talk.
talk, baby.
Let's do real talk
This
because
is candid talk. I'm like, sheesh.
okay, to be fair, I only knew of Rasheen because a friend of mine used him. And so every time I saw his
You
work,
gotta finish that sentence. Use me how?
oh, okay, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're
You
right.
can't just say stuff like that. That sounds crazy on the internet. It's 2024.
Period. My friend used his artistry to do his videos and his photos.
Photos, pretty much all his art, everything.
Yes. And
Mm,
so honestly, I did not even know it was the same person. I kept seeing other stuff that he was doing, but from some of the
mm,
stuff that I saw, I did see that it was some gay people. And so I just assumed that they were friends. I didn't even really think that it was just like a business thing necessarily. I just assumed they
mm,
were friends that hung out because he did so much work for him. Um,
mm.
so that is why. And to be clear, since we being real, he can get a little saucy. And so in the sauciness, I was like, he gay. That's it, that's all. But he's
What does
not,
saucy mean?
huh?
What does saucy mean exactly?
So you know how a female or a gay man, y'all don't come at me for this. This is just how I feel. I'm just one person, just how I feel. Um, but not temperamental, but be like, girl, now why did you da 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 da? It's like the
Mm,
attitude come quick from females or female mindset sometimes. And so normally when you're working with a man, he's
mm.
just more business. If anything, he'll be like, hey, we need to make sure we doing da 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 da. But I say sassy because it came off like kind of bitchy. And I was like, oh, that's a gay man in Atlanta. But I was wrong and I apologize.
You gotta think about it on the flip side too, because like let's say me and a lot of other people, we work with a lot of women, so it's easier to talk that way versus when I talk direct, then it's a misunderstanding. So like I do that sometimes as well. I saw that's the easiest way to soften it is to what do we call that? Mirror. So we mirror y'all sometimes just to make it easier blow.
And it depends on the
But no, I
female.
don't do that. I don't. I personally don't do that girl shit. So I don't even know where that came from. Like,
No,
girl,
not feminine, not like, hey girl, no,
yeah,
no, 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 no. I'm just saying sometimes the responses felt more bitchy than you know, I don't know. Okay. Let me go that way. I don't know. I have been in the military for 21 years. I've only been out for like 4. So let me just say the men I'm used to dealing with professionally in work doing projects, it's been military men. There are some gay ones
mhm,
out there. Please understand that. However, it's just a way that we, I guess, communicate. And so this time I was actually working with a
mhm.
civilian who happened to be a male, and it was different for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So you're learning. I mean, it's definitely a different wave of, I guess, men and women nowadays. So that's a learning curve for even myself. A lot of times, 'Cause let's say just recently, I had to do the they them. I didn't for I
Ooh.
wasn't. I'm not even gonna get into that, but yeah, I wasn't used to that, so I ended up using the other pronouns, like you know what I'm saying, like what I see you as, like if I look at you, you're her, you're she, but it wasn't that type of situation. So yeah, it's a definitely a new wave, but like I said, sometimes I will mirror because I am a savage. I'm from Brooklyn. I was raised by a gangster. That's Mama OG RIP.
Mm.
But overall, I think it was a great a set. Like I said, from I worked on a lot of sets, so I thought as far as like shooting, even though somebody was late, Mike. But once we got shooting,
Woo! And let me
once
just
we
say,
got
Mike, I
shooting,
still feel like you owe me some coins because I had to pay extra for you being late, and I still paid you.
but yeah, hey, no, that's facts. But yeah, I'm not knocking that. I can't got nothing to say on that part. But yeah,
Mhm.
overall, I think it was a great vibe. I can't really say anything. I have no negatives really. I think it was a dope experience, especially for your first time. I think you did your thing. Even with the book, are we gonna get like since this was 99% you, are we gonna get like a fiction version for maybe a part two, or is there another story to tell? Like what's coming next?
So I've been kind of thinking about it. My initial thought was it was going to be a four-part series. I was going to
Mm,
do one simply on lust, one on lies, and then the no goddamn white picket fence, which would make four books.
mm,
Because in this book, so in between this story, I was actually married. I was married for
mm.
6 years, but
Are
I
you married when you was writing it?
yes. However,
Oh,
however,
it gets deeper,
no,
folks.
no, no. He was that marriage was in the book. I literally took everything out that had to do with the marriage. I did. Let me tell you why. My marriage. See, this is how you play too much. My marriage
Trying
needed
to,
its own book.
trying to see what I missed.
It is not in the book. I promise. Not one thing about
And
this
what was
person
this?
is in this book. Um,
What was
hush.
this?
No, listen, listen. Let me tell you. If okay, I will say this part
I'm sorry, God.
for anyone who may have read it already. There's a
Uh,
part in the book where about 5 or 6 years lapse, and you'll see that in the story because I will say it's been 5 years. My daughters are
mm,
now grown and pretty much out of the house. You'll see that. So it's like, what was she doing during that time? I was being
mm.
married. I was married and I did not want to talk about it. Um,
So would the next book go into something like that, or are we telling it out of order? Because let me. So the question that I have: are all of the books going to be like based on life, or are some of them going to have like, let's say, the M. La Shyamalan, when you throw a little twist in there just for the readers? Because now that we know, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
it's probably I mean, you know what
Well,
I'm saying? Just
to
asking.
be fair, I feel like, and I have been like getting feedback for some of my friends and other people who read
Mm-hmm.
the book. I don't go into real deep stories on everything
Mm-hmm.
that I did or we did during that relationship. So Lust was going to reflect all of the run-ins that I've had. And I was going to, elaborate a little bit on the
Mm-hmm.
run-ins that I've had. These were all relationships. So I didn't talk about my run-ins. That's lust.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we know sometimes we see somebody, we know they're not good for us, but guess what we want to do?
Try it out.
Get to know them a little bit. So, I'm guilty of that. And I had a lot. Okay. Not a lot, but I've had my share. I've had my share for my age. But
I said I'm gonna
so
have to bring you back. I got so many more questions, but
look, ask me that. But the marriage was going to come in where I
mm,
put no goddamn white picket fence. That was going to be the marriage because
mm,
a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen, and yeah, I asked for a divorce. And we actually tried. I tried again just to see if um if I walked away too soon.
mm.
And that too ended the way the first one did. So
Heard. Now I still haven't finished yet, so I don't even have no spoilers. I don't even want the spoilers yet either. Like I
let me
said, you
give
can
him a
see my book,
spoiler. Let me give him
my
a
bookmark.
spoiler.
Nah, don't do that. My bookmark's still right there, so don't do that.
So
But
let me
yeah, like I
are
said,
you
even from
still
the
on
beginning, it
chapter
was an
one?
interesting story. Huh? I'm sorry.
Are you still on chapter one?
No, chapter
Okay.
two.
Ooh, chapter two. Oh my.
You know,
Oh
that's
my. You
progress.
really get
But no, I've been working two jobs and I've been working at night. So like, as soon as the light is going, it's over.
oh,
So
trust,
I've
I
been
understand.
outside with it.
I
Mm,
understand. And to be fair, because I'm honest about everything, I too have been going through this book
mm,
because even though I went through an editor, there are still
mm,
some grammatical errors and little things I don't like. So I'm actually going
mm,
through to change those. That was going to be part of the second volume coming out.
mm,
But I think I'm gonna add a little something something to the second volume. It's gonna be a
mm.
twist.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
man, this should be dope, especially if you're going to, I guess, revamp it in a way. That's going to be 2.0 or point 0 or point 0.5, I guess. I don't know, one of those.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Volume
no, that'll be dope.
two. Just
Well,
be
what do you, is there a time frame on that, or is that something that you're just like, because I seen a little, look like you had a little pencil in it. Are you pretty much going through it to find everything
oh
that you
yeah.
want to change now?
Yep, I've already been editing. I'm pretty much down to the last chapter of me reading
Mm,
my book again. So
mm.
yeah, I'm down to the last chapter, making some changes. Yeah, I don't want to give
And
anything away, but the second volume will have some things that are different.
And one more time, who would be the main audience that you think would gravitate to this book? Like who do you think would get the most out of it?
I want to say women, and that's no
Mm-hmm.
lie. I have actually had some men. I can't say his name, but one of my first sergeants, so sweet. He read the book and he could not wait to call me to find out what
Sounds like
is
drama. Just saying. We like drama too.
I mean, yes. So that's when I realized, and he wasn't the only one. I gave it to a couple other guys. Not, I shouldn't say gave.
Mm,
They purchased it, but
mm,
I was very surprised that men were into the book. I'm not gonna lie, I
yeah.
was. But my main audience is females. It's not
Mm.
a black thing or a white thing because one of my white girlfriends, she bought my book. She was the first to tell me, she was like, my husband read some of your book, and he was like, this is kind of like 50 Shades of Grey type of stuff. And that was the first time I ever heard anyone say anything about it sexually. And I was like, 50 Graces.
You about to sell a whole bunch of different copies right now because he said they be like, what type of book?
Listen, I was surprised. Then my daughter read it. She was like, it reminded her of Zane books, which I've never read Zane books. I'm an Eric Jerome Dickey girl.
Never? Oh wow, yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I thought about Zane.
Yep, that's what she said.
Dang.
She was like, this is real raw. She was like, I don't know if I can read some of this. It's probably too much. But she came from her mama.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, like I said, I'm gonna have to bring you back. I probably want to do a part two. We could talk a little bit more about the book, but I want to get into some more topics, probably some relationship topics as well,
Yeah.
because That's definitely what a lot what the book is about as well. Even that the trailer, shit. And I ain't just talking about romantic relationships. 'Cause a lot of time when you say relationship, people just kind of be like romantic. Nah, that's not always what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, just relationships in general. I kind of want to bring you back for one of those and get your insight on a panel, or we could even do it like this again, honestly, because I don't mind. Especially if you don't. This was actually pretty fun. But let people know where they could find your book, where they could find you.
Okay, well, listen, you can find me everywhere. I'm just playing.
Hey,
Um, I'm just playing. Um,
hey.
as you can see from the book, and especially if you see the video, it's at the end. I'm at www.enjoyeyelashcase.com. And also my Instagram is Enjoy Eyelash Case. Or my personal one is Joy Kersey. That is the one for my book. Joy under slash Kersey. Mhm.
All
But
right.
everything I do has my stuff on it, y'all, because I'm that person. So I put my stuff on
Mm.
everything.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, send me all of those links and I'll add it into the video for the uh, all in the bottom. I add all in the description and stuff like that. Especially the book. You know, I promote it. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those men that support it.
Listen. Let me give somebody their flowers now because I will say that whenever I post something about my book, I look and it's on his page. And I am so thankful. Like I don't have to say, can you repost or nothing like that. He
Uh,
does it. And that's
hey,
awesome.
I never lied. When I told you I liked it, I told you that from the beginning. I was like, yo, this is interesting. I didn't even read the whole book. I didn't have the book yet. You just sent me some summary, like
Inserts,
little
yeah.
notes. I was like, oh, insert, yeah. So I was just like, yeah, that's dope. And then I just had a scene. I see visuals whenever I read stuff. So that's why something like this for me is perfect because it's visually entertaining. You
Yeah.
know, so
Well, let me
continue.
ask
Like
you a
I said,
question.
I'm pushing. If anything, I'm one of those people. Hey, continue. Definitely make that next one. But that's all for today. At
Wait,
least
hold
for
on,
now.
hold on. I have a
Hold on,
question for you,
you
sir.
got more. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you said you read the first chapter. What did you think?
Well, the first chapter, like I said, as far as with the connectivity when it comes to the family and the relationship to the way that the I felt that's the part that really I gravitated to more. And it felt like that's what probably led to I don't even know where it's going though, but I felt like the relationship from that is probably going to lead to what I already know from what we shot, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. I think it's going to correlate somehow, some way. So I don't know. I'm reading that, but I'm thinking about where we shot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
So
So
when you read it, tell them what you text me.
oh damn, what did I text you? 'Cause I just wanted
Oh
to say I
Lord.
was just like, yo, this is because I wanted to know. For one, I was just like, for the first thing I asked, I was like, "Yo, is this about you?" Because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm reading this, and I was getting a little bit too attached because some of it reminded me of the story that my mother told me about how her growing up. Because
Mm.
she had like she was the oldest though, so she had to learn how to fight from her uncle. She had to
Mhm.
learn how to box and all this other. So it was a rough upbringing, pretty much.
Yeah.
So reading that, I started relating a little bit too much. R.I.P. Mom Duke. So that was like, oh man, this is getting.
Yeah.
I was like, so I emotionally connected to the beginning of that based off of that part,
Hmm.
but it was a twist to it because of the connection that you had. So it was a little bit different because I
Yeah.
think it was a brother, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm correct. So that
Yes.
connection with that brother, I was just like, damn, that's a traumatic relationship that I
Mhm.
don't even want to spill it because y'all gotta read it. But
Right.
it's a
Right.
traumatic
Right.
relationship that I was just like, yo, matter of fact, I gotta go to say exactly what I read. Let me go find it. Hold up.
While he's looking, I will say that I have gotten a lot of responses from females who have been through a lot of the journeys that I've been through. And they're like, thank you. Thank you. Because I too went through abuse. I too went through these things. And it's something my family doesn't talk about because my family does not talk about it.
Found it. So I text you randomly. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a big ass hug when I see you. I wish I ain't know. I wish I didn't ask how much is true, but I'm still at the beginning. But I'm picking it up pretty much for my next work days. So yeah, just reading the beginning, I just had to just stop reading.
Yeah.
It's just like, nah, I gotta text her because I
Yeah.
just like I said, I'm a visual. So even for me reading sometimes, like I'll read a chapter multiple times just because I like it versus moving forward sometimes because
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything sometimes. Cause I read and I visualize some shit and then I'm missing because I'm just reading other words that get to the next part that makes me visualize. So like I said, I probably got a little ADHD. I never been diagnosed, but the way that I process things is it's a little bit deeper than the others sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's unnecessary. It could
Yeah.
be just like me overthinking. But I love what I'm reading so far. But based off of where I know it's going, I'm just trying to see. Like I
How
can't
do
wait
we get
to.
there? How does this little
Yeah,
girl get there?
yeah, pretty much. It's like, huh? I was
Life.
like, what?
Life
So
happens
yeah,
to
y'all
everybody, and
make
your
sure y'all pick
environment
up
can
the
change
book. Y'all, if y'all haven't already, Lust, Lies, and Not a Goddamn White Picket Fence.
He just love to
Uh,
call it what he want to call it, y'all. But
I don't
we
know. I'm
get the
keep
gist
switching
of
up. No goddamn white picket fence. Excuse me. But until next
it.
time, Miss Joy, I appreciate you, the
Yeah.
lovely Joy. Mm. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. The
Well,
lovely
thank
Joy.
you.
Thank you for coming on the Candid Talk Show podcast
Yes.
with me, Winter Harris, Rasheen Winter Harris. Until next time, peace.